What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the RedBeard Outdoors podcast. I'm Jonathan, your host. And here today we have our special edition of the podcast that we're doing all through 2024. That's the Why First Phorm Outdoors edition of the podcast. We have an amazing guest here from headquarters there over in St. Louis, Missouri, Fenton, Missouri. If you've been there specifically, it's Fenton. But over at First Phorm headquarters in St. Louis, we've got Preston Meyer. Preston is one of the leaders of the First Phorm Outdoors community over there at headquarters. He helps head up so many different events, such as the November Knockdown Challenge, which, guys, keep your eyes open for that. In the next couple months, we'll be doing more on that. And also, you can go back and see those videos on the YouTube channel over at First Phorm on YouTube. But we've got some exciting things to talk about, including a sweepstakes to win an optics package by the end of the month here in September. So make sure you stay tuned for that. At the end, we're going to talk about that. But before we get into all of that, Preston, who are you, man?
Well, Jonathan, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to me. I'm just nowhere, Missouri, just rural Missouri that fell in love with the woods. So I've been hunting since 8 years old. My dad stuck a shotgun in my hand and we went out in the woods. He's been hunting ever since he was a little kid and he wanted to pass that along. So for me, it was just a passion of just wanting to be in the outdoors. Been deer hunting since I was 8, been turkey hunting, and just really, for me, just being an advocate of fitness, health, outdoors are really the passions that I've had. I've been with the company for 4 years in total. Learned about Jake Garvold, who's, really the person that started First Phorm Outdoors with the vision of experiencing more and going out and creating an impact. And I was like, you know what? I resonate with that a lot. It reminds me of me as a kid and, something that I can really connect with. And I was like, hey, let's do this thing. Like, let's figure this out and let's make it happen. And so, been with the outdoor side of things for 3 years now. And it's really seeing it grow and seeing what it has become is really exciting. That's a little bit about me. I just super passionate about fitness, super passionate about the outdoors. Love what I get to do and the people I get to do with, people like yourself, every single day. So
I appreciate that, man. Yeah. So I didn't realize we've been with First Phorm for about the same amount of time. I'm just out in Utah and you're out at headquarters. But right around that 2020 timeline and right when First Phorm Outdoors was kicking off. So that's exciting. So I'll tell you a little bit more about Preston that he didn't mention. One, he's a soulless ginger like me. So for people that aren't watching this on YouTube and are listening on the podcast, go check it out. Also, he's wrong-handed and he's got blue eyes. So he's like the rarest combination of ginger out there. There's definitely something wrong with him. So and the only other thing that I would say is definitely wrong with him, showing there's a little screw loose in the head, is the first time I didn't get to meet you that weekend, but the first time I was out at First Phorm, you were running a 100-mile race. So or a 24-hour race or something.
It was 100 kilometers, so 63 miles. Kilometers.
Okay. Yeah. So that non-freedom measurement, dude, if it's not measured in Eagles and, and energy drinks, it's not it doesn't count. But no, it was it was either way, 100 kilometers. That is a crazy race. And you weren't really a marathon runner or anything before that, from what I understood. So my first introduction to Preston, even though I didn't get to meet you, was Jake and I were staying up late waiting to see if you needed help. Like, that's really we pulled in. I was like, hey, he's a fellow redhead. I'm sure he'll be okay. He just has to suck a couple souls and he'll keep going. But outside of that, we legit were up all night waiting to hear from the help team just to make sure if you guys need any backup, that was going to be my first introduction to Preston. So, he's badass, guys. He really is. He really gets after it. He does those crazy things that just kind of breeds it there at First Phorm headquarters. If you haven't been out there and experienced that, just go on the social media and follow the people that work at First Phorm. There's a reason why they're hard hitters and they get after it, because it just is bred there in the community. So with that, you were born and raised in Missouri, love the outdoors, and now, being a part of First Phorm, I guess, what's been your experience and why did you choose to go to First Phorm to begin with?
That's a great question. So I've been a customer of First Form for 9 years. So I started my journey. I was 4'10" in high school, 82 pounds. I got bullied a lot, and red hair, pale skin, freckles everywhere. Like you said, you don't make a lot of friends. And so when I went to college, it's in every parent's mind, like, hey, do the right thing, go be a doctor or a lawyer. I always loved helping people. So I was like, cool, medical track is going to be super simple. I love school. And I really started to realize that, school sucks. And it's not that it's not that school sucks. It's just the way that school is really formulated. It was not the right form of education for me. And so throughout that time, I really struggled with my mental health. I struggled with a lot of different things in my life. And I decided to get in the gym and do something about it, and really just put myself into a situation where I was going to, become the best version of myself. If I can't rely on other people because other people are picking on me and my environment's not conducive for my own health, well, I'm going to take it into my own hands. And so throughout that journey, I was in school. I found out about First Form through just trying the products at a local store here in St. Louis. I didn't realize that Andy Frisella, who's the owner of our company, as well as Supplement Superstores, which is the retail version of First Form. They have stores all around the Missouri area. I didn't know that they were all together, and so I tried the product. I was like, dang, this post-workout stack's good. Like this loopy fruit tastes just like the bottom of the cereal bowl. And that's where it started. And I got really heavily involved, and I realized that it was like, they're like, hey, we're not here to just sell you products. Like, it's not just here to push products on you. It's like, all right, we're going to help you where you need to. And, you got to take control. You got to do the work. And I'm like, I can get behind that. And I started to look into the company a little bit more. And I was like, hey, can I be an ambassador, right? Can I just represent the company? Because at that point in my college career, I had gained roughly 30 pounds of muscle. And I was helping other people in the gym. I was helping other people around campus. And they're like, you're from St. Louis. Like, we do community outreach and we're all part of the community already. So like, it would be a conflict of interest. So I was like, hey, do you have a warehouse position? Like, can I get my foot in the door anywhere?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it started. 18 days after graduating with my degree in biology, I instead of going to do research in Colorado, I decided to work $12 an hour in the warehouse at First Form. And my parents were not happy about it whatsoever. But I'm very blessed to say that, like, I've worked through the ranks of the company and get to where I'm at and be able to get to do what I love every single day. So, yeah.
Love that. I love that. And for people that don't know, if you do know, you might be tired of me telling this story, but honestly, when you go out to headquarters, you'll see just you'll feel the different culture walking in, even if there's no one there. It just feels different. It feels like walking into like I don't know, I wouldn't say a museum because it's not old, but somewhere almost sacred in a way. And it's not because, I love First Form or you are the same way, but the idea of the fact that it's so clean, you can tell that where there's lines, the lines are straight, everything's taken care of. Just everything about the environment breeds competition, but in a healthy way. It's not a crabs in a bucket mentality where they see someone else succeeding and they try and pull them down. If anything, you try and lift them up, which in turn lifts you up. And you really do believe that rising tides raise all ships at that location at headquarters. And so for people that don't understand that, again, there's any way that you're near St. Louis and you can get into headquarters whenever they do have a public gym opening or whatever it may be, I highly recommend you have that opportunity because it pushes people to be better. On top of that, they don't have a janitor. So they don't have someone that goes around and cleans up after them. They have to clean up after themselves, and they hold each other accountable to that. And they also do the traditional, you work your way up through the system. So you don't necessarily come in at the top. You have to earn your position. And I think for liability reasons, they had to stop forcing you to do certain workouts, but there are definitely hardcore workouts that you have to do if you're going to get hired on at headquarters, which isn't to, again, it's not to be mean per se, but it's to weed out the people that aren't team players. It's to weed out the people that are going to end up quitting when things get rough, because that, again, there's such a high level performance there that they need to know from the get go you're gonna be willing to keep pushing. So All of
Mhm.
that to be said, it's definitely an environment where I could see you thriving, in that case, and being able to work up to that position. So with that, now you're in this position with First Phorm Outdoors.
Mhm.
And for everyone out there, again, it's a branch of First Phorm, still the same company. We're just reaching out to the outdoors man and woman that doesn't necessarily want to be a bodybuilder, but does want to live longer and experience more of the outdoors. So, I guess, what do you enjoy doing most with First Phorm Outdoors as far as what your position is?
I would say two things, like community meeting everybody. I mean, there's not a better community out there. Like I will say TAC 2023 with our squad out there. I know we didn't get to go out there 2024 and it broke my heart, but 2023 TAC in Utah on at Solitude was one of the highlights of my time with First Phorm Outdoors. Like having that crew together, being able to connect, sending you all out on the mountain, seeing Chaz terrified, like that was a great time, and him out shooting Dale, and it was his
Mm-hmm.
first time drawing back a bow. That was just such a great time. So really, the big thing when it comes to First Phorm Outdoors, and what I absolutely love to do, is I love our community and connecting with everybody, but I also love challenging our community because for us, it is really about that mission, right? Helping as many real people get real and long-term results with First Phorm is the mission for the outdoor side of things, helping people experience more, whether that's hiking, hunting, fishing, whatever that case may be, what your passion is. We want you to go a little bit extra, right? And go a little bit more. And I see that as an obligation as a leader within this side of First Phorm Outdoors is like, hey, we are here set out on a mission that is extremely tough to, change the outdoor industry. And there's a lot of great leaders out there. And it's on us to lead by example, but also to challenge those people in their own community. You're way more powerful than you think you are. And I challenge our community members that way because it really does make an impact when you can take one more person and be able to help them become the best version of themselves. And it really is creating that ripple effect to generations to come and generations before us. And I really love that part of what we do.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's having people understand that even though like you and I are into hunting and fishing and things like that, but also that's not what the entire community is built on. It
Yeah.
really is experience more. That's why that is the slogan or the phrase that we use, is because it's experience more of whatever, fill in the blank, whatever it is that you're
Mm-hmm.
wanting to do. But you're not going to easily get into a tree stand and not worry about it falling if you're 300 pounds. You're not going to be able to play with your grandkids if you're overweight and you haven't been working out to some degree to where you're moving your body when you're grandpa or grandma. You're not going to be able to go out and paddleboard or kayak or camp even without being super uncomfortable if you're not taking care of your body now. And so all of those reasons are why this community is so important. We're over 6,000 members strong at this point in the Facebook community, and many, many more people that don't have social media are getting involved with the community just because it really is. We want you to experience more of whatever it is that you love in the community. So with that being said, we've established that Preston likes to do crazy things and run long distances overnight and beat his
I didn't
body
train
weight.
for that either.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
know,
didn't
I
train for
know,
that.
I know. You procrastinated the heck out of that training. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
but he just grinded through it, right? That's kind of, you just
exactly.
wanted to make sure you finished it, and that's, I mean, that just speaks volumes to who Preston is. But with that being said, give us your top three reasons why you love First Phorm Outdoors in general. Why this company over so many other supplement companies out there that also have good communities, and why is it that First Phorm Outdoors is what stood out to you and what still continues to be your community that you go back to every day?
Yeah, and really, community is everything. People is the big reason why. The number one reason why I love this community and why I come back to First Phorm Outdoors. And it may seem biased being the leader of the company, but objectively, it's really seeing people hold other people to the standard that First Phorm Outdoors expects of, just going out leading by example, and building fun and positive relationships is another core value of ours. I mean, there's a lot of divisiveness out there, and to see people holding that standard with friends and family is just, I mean, there's nothing more than I could ask for of a community member of First Phorm Outdoors, is making sure that they are holding those people around them accountable to that same standard, holding themselves to a high standard. I think that's really, really important, and really, really reassuring that we are moving in the right direction. Probably the second piece to that is knowing that everybody is open to learning, because things are always evolving. Things are always changing, right? There's always new bows coming out. There's always new technology coming out. But what's not new is being a good human, right? And being able to do things the right way, and having a set of ethics and morals about you where you truly care about the individual. Now, there's a lot of companies out there that, embody that and attempt to do that. And I feel like we are rooted in that. Like, that is where we started. And that was the foundation that we laid from the very beginning. So I think that is something that is really unique about First Phorm Outdoors. And then probably the final thing is, we love to have a good time, and we love to give back. And that's really important to us, is giving back in ways that we can contribute and make an impact for future generations to come is really important to us. So we want to make sure that we can help our community accelerate their growth, be able to make that impact, and really see this as, hey, we're all leaders in this. We all have our own obligations with life and everything going on. But if we truly want to see this movement grow from 6,000 strong in that Facebook community, but also inside of our social media platforms, well, it's going to take every single one of us just going out and having one more conversation. And I think our community does a phenomenal job with that. And I really see that we will accelerate that growth here in the next few years tremendously, because of those values that we stand behind. So those are my big reasons for being a part. And I want to emphasize that I'm just a part of it, right? It really is about all the people that are part of our team, and I just see myself as a small piece. And that's really what I care about, is just being a small piece to an overall mission that is going to grow out and make a huge impact.
Yeah, no, I love that. Those are three really good. I'm going to tack on your fourth one that you mentioned earlier, just to reiterate to people that a big reason why he even got involved with First Phorm was the taste of the products. It's just high quality. It doesn't give you the bubble guts. Obviously, you were getting into working out, so you tried a bunch of different proteins.
Oh, yeah.
That one just tasted amazing and didn't give you the stomach issues that causes no one else to be around you for a period of time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, I tried hundreds of proteins. So, yes, the quality of products is second to none. I will be transparent. I would not work for this company if the quality of product wasn't excellent. That's not something that was in my career path at all. I'm a very driven person. I'm very dead set on what I want. And the fact that the quality exuded that from the people and the product, I mean, it was definitely something that got my attention and completely changed my career path.
Yeah.
So, yes.
So with that being said, guys, we highly recommend that you go and join us over at the First Phorm Outdoors Facebook group. It costs nothing to get entered. We want you guys in the group. Definitely want you over there to meet other people that are like-minded. Maybe you've moved. Maybe you're in a different community than you're used to. Maybe you want to try a new hobby and you're scared you don't really have a group to link to. You'll find people that you can meet up with over on the First Phorm Outdoors Facebook group. So I recommend you go and check that out. I'll leave that link down below. But we do want to hit on another big thing, guys, just talking about community. So there's been a couple things with First Phorm that we've done over this last year, where there's been sweepstakes for a bass fishing tournament, which was fantastic. My buddy Mac ended up winning that, which was awesome to see. And then we've also done a hunt giveaway, which I don't believe that's been announced yet. Who won that one?
Not yet.
Okay. So as you're listening to this, it might have been announced yet. We don't know when that's going to be announced, so I don't have a date for you that I can tell you. But if that's been announced, cool. If not, stay tuned for that. But that's an awesome package where you're going to win. Whoever ends up winning it is going to get, a firearm, optics package, a full hunt with learning how to cook, clean, and all of that, being taught how to actually use your game meat. once you do go for a hunt. So I'm hoping someone who is new to hunting wins that. I also secretly kind of hope I win. But at the same time, I really genuinely want someone that is new to hunting to win, because that group is an amazing group that they're going to be going out and hunting with. So that's happened recently. And then we have this sweepstakes right now, which is an optic sweepstakes. Now, you guys know I work with Leupold. I talk to you guys about that all the time. But Vortex is an amazing company. I've been out to their headquarters doing an elk-shaped camp out there, and they have an amazing facility. And so whoever ends up winning this is going to have a fantastic time out there. You can enter the sweepstakes, and there's ways to get entered with no purchases, but also we'll kind of go over some brief details of that right now. And also check out the link down below to get entered in on that, because right there we'll explain all the rules, how you can get entered. And if you do get entered through that link, you're going to be supporting me here at the channel, and of course the First Phorm Outdoors community as well. So Preston, take it away. Give us some details as to what people are going to be winning and how they can get entered.
Yeah, so it goes through August 27th. So
September
with that,
27th.
I apologize, September 27th. September 27th. I got my months mixed up. So it goes through September 27th. And with that, the Vortex giveaway is going to include a long range day so they're going to go through and be able to teach you about long range shooting. It's a tour of their headquarters. You get a choice of your own optics, and you get to be able to have the incredible experience that Jonathan and I both have had with going to their facility and being able to learn from those guys up there. They're incredible people. And how you can enter, like Jonathan talked about, there are ways that you can have no purchase necessary, sending in a postcard, why you want to enter to win to First Phorm headquarters, or, if you are wanting to get entries, you have select products. Basically our better for you options are protein bars, meat sticks, things like that. Our hydration sticks that can really just help you in the backwoods, help you on hikes, really making sure that you are prepared and ready to go for September. And those are be the best options to get entered. And with that, and we're super excited because Vortex has a long time supported First Phorm Outdoors, and we appreciate them. And it was just a great collaboration to do for the sweepstakes. And if you all have questions, you can shoot them over to myself or Jonathan. Be happy to help out with that. But we're really excited about this one. And it's a really great experience. Barneveld is a great little town, and what Vortex has going on up there is super special. So we're really, really looking forward to whoever those winners are.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things that it really is a great group of people up there at Vortex. They also provide some really high quality education where it comes to the long range shooting. That's something that a lot of people, I personally even haven't gone to a class yet. I'm planning to within the next year. I'll be going and ringing steel at over 1,000 yards consistently. And that's something I'm excited about. But anyone who wins this package, and there's going to be 3 winners, by the way. I didn't mention that. So there will be 3 winners, not just one, and each person will be able to bring a guest as well. So this is a super, super special opportunity that I highly recommend that you go and check out the link for all the details, all the rules on how you can get entered, and then what products equal how many points, so that you can add entries to your to the sweepstakes opportunity to win. And it's something that, again, I pictured this when we first started First Phorm Outdoors. I've loved being able to share, my partnerships and bring them into the First Phorm Outdoors community as well, because it's so cool to have people like, for example, Dialed Archery. When Scott came out to the November Knockdown Finals was it April this year?
Yep.
It already seems like an eternity since that's happened.
I know.
But he came out and he was like, man, this is what we need in the outdoors community. We need even more of this, because it encourages, even if you're not to the level of some of these athletes that were out there, that's fine. It encourages you to go out and see that it's possible. We had everyone from, from women that were moms, right? And they were out there just recovering from postpartum, and within that year had built up the strength to be able to win as a finalist in the November Knockdown Challenge and go all the way out to headquarters and participate in the finals. They grinded through some amazing things. There was CrossFit athletes as well that were out there. There were dads, there were people that were battling injuries. Like, it was just great to see that group of individuals that were out there. And so that was really cool. But more than anything, when companies are working together in partnerships like this one, or the bass tournament that we had, and the hunt giveaway that is yet to be announced on who won that one, all of those people getting into the community and learning from the education that First Phorm provides is key for the outdoors community. There's a lot going on. And if you're an outdoorsman or an outdoorswoman, I highly recommend that you don't just sit back, trust that your politicians are going to do the right thing, and not take action. I highly recommend also that you don't just sit back and rest on your laurels of, well, I'm active and I hike, so I don't need to worry about my nutrition. All of those things are encompassed. It's a big responsibility when you become an outdoorsman or an outdoorswoman, because you really are. What are you leaving for your posterity? What are you leaving for your kids is another thing you have to think about. And if you don't take action, you're leaving your inaction for your kids to try and overcome. So all of that, I mean, that's pretty heavy to think about, but there's a lot of that goes into, enjoying the outdoors. And even if you don't like if you don't like hunting or fishing, and you're not necessarily worried about that aspect of things, still the conservation of your trails, if you like hiking, or places to camp, so that we're not building over top of amazing areas that you can take out and live in the wilderness with your family. Like, all of those things are important for every single outdoorsman and woman, even if you're not a hunter or a fisherman. It's something that you should definitely keep an eye on. And so with that as well, let me bring up another point of education from First Phorm. This is something that stood out to me personally when I became a part of the group. So back when, I first joined up with First Phorm, and even more specifically First Phorm Outdoors branch of the company, it was, what blew me away was how much education is provided for free at that point. Once you become what we call a Legionnaire, is you have a lot of education to go through, because they don't want you just putting your code out there and saying, buy this product because I think it tastes good. You genuinely are encouraged to have conversations with people, which you've hit on, Preston. The education piece of First Phorm is, bar none, there is no other company that I know of that provides that level of education, short of a degree. Basically, that's really all that's missing, is a piece of paper saying that you're nutrition certified. But they really do expect you to go through so many different classes and keep up with it as things continuously progress. So maybe hit on that a little bit too there, Preston. Just what, why so much education? Why don't you guys just throw it out there of, oh, well, use code RedBeard10, which, guys, that's not the code for First Phorm, so don't use that. Why don't you just go use RedBeard and you save 10% on all products and free shipping? Like, well, why don't you guys do that?
Because we value the relationship. We value the long-term relationship, and being able to change somebody's life. I mean, Jonathan, you and I can think of a few key people in our lives that have completely transformed the way we think and how we view things and what we do with our lives and what legacy we want to live. Like, I definitely want to be able to leave something for my kids. And at the foundation of that is education, right? Because, there's either misinformation or you're uneducated, right? And making sure you have the right information and you can think intuitively and you can think critically. It's not about First Phorm growing. That's the key, is we want you and RedBeard, the whole RedBeard, brand to grow and make an impact, because we know what you bring to the outdoor industry, what you bring to First Phorm Outdoors. And for anybody that's a part of our team, we want them to think the same way. It's like, they provide me with this foundation so that I can go make an impact in my community, because Jonathan's going to relate to people that I can't. And he's going to say things in a way that conveys that message to his community where I would say it differently. And that's totally okay, because you're going to be able to bring and attract the same kind of quality people that want to get better in a much different platform. And that's okay. And so we provide that education because we want everybody to say, hey, this is the fundamentals of what you should know. go out and be able to make it what you will, right? And that's really important pieces. We don't want to put a emphasis on like you have to post this certain way and this type of content and things like that, which, respect to other brands out there, and I wish them all the best. But if we are not giving people the freedom of creativity and being able to make that impact in their own community, well, we're naive in the fact that we might be missing out on people that would truly benefit from the things that we can add value to. So when it comes to people who are a part of our team, we want to give them that freedom of creativity. We want them to be a part of the team and be able to contribute in their own way and make it unique to them, because they're going to be able to find people that we would never be able to find, especially in the outdoor industry. There's people that are super passionate about things that I'm not passionate about, and that's totally okay. And that's something that we still want those people to live a better lifestyle and experience more in the outdoors. And so that's why we have it set up the way we do, is we truly value those relationships one person at a time. And, that's how we're going to grow this thing, is one person at a time. It's not this, massive land grab of, tons and tons of people. It's one conversation at a time, one transformational relationship built with one action at a time, holding people accountable. So that's how we have it set up, and that's how we're going to keep it in order for us to continue to grow what we're doing.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I can attest to that, guys. It's just another level of it's not just something else that's being sold to you. We genuinely want to have that conversation with you, where we're not saying, well, here's a stack, go buy it. It's, what are you lacking? What do you need? What are your goals? And how can we fill those gaps with what's available? For example, for all the hunters out there that are getting into it right now, and by the time this comes out, unfortunately, Utah's archery elk season will be over. Hopefully by then I've killed a bull. And that's the goal. And with that, while you're out there on the mountain, are you still keeping up with your greens? Are you keeping up with your multivitamin? Are you keeping up with your protein? And are you keeping up with your hydration? And those are the main things that I stick with. It's hard to keep track of macros 100% while you're up on the mountain. I'll just say that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's easier to keep track of your protein if you've got the good protein sticks that they're not gonna melt on you. Like, I love the protein bars, but I keep those back at camp in a cooler.
Yeah.
So they don't melt on me. So I bring the protein sticks or the meat sticks. Barbecue's my favorite by far. And then you've got you have the hydration sticks that I've always got some in my backpack. Because just because you're drinking water doesn't mean that you're staying hydrated. You got to replenish the electrolytes and everything else that goes along with it. Also, when I get back to camp, if I'm camping at the truck, I'll have protein powder, and I'll also have my greens and the microfactor I usually take up with me on the mountain just in case, or I take it first thing in the morning. But multivitamins and greens every single day, because you're performing basically at your Super Bowl when you're hunting. Like, you want to be the best that you can be for what you've trained for. So why not continue to at least provide the micronutrients and the protein that you need to rebuild in that situation? Your body needs it. And just, you're going to send it into shock if you're not providing that after you've been providing it all year. So all of those things there's packs that are individually packaged that you can use if you want it like that. Or again, if you camp like me at the truck, I just take my greens bag and I've got that in one of my totes with my food. And I do 2 scoops of that every single night before going to bed. That's just my normal routine when I'm hunting. And then everything else I have in my pack with me, so I can make sure I've got it good to go. So those are the main things that I focus on when I'm up there hunting, is just making sure that your body can recover, making sure you're providing the nutrients, because Peak Refuels and Heather's Choice and all those are great for providing the macros that you may need, but you still need the micronutrients as well while you're up there. So all of that is stuff that we love to talk about with you guys. If you have questions, again, always feel free to reach out to Preston or me or anyone in the First Phorm Outdoors Facebook group. There's always good conversations happening there as well.
Yeah. I mean, you hit a great point. You're an athlete when you're out on that mountain. Like, your family, their livelihood, if you rely on that elk meat or that deer meat, or if you're hunting, I mean, that is up to you. Then those decisions are not made by just, hey, I'm going to drink beer, or I'm going to hang out and like have a good time. Well, you're diminishing that probability of you being successful, of you achieving your goal, of why you even invested all that time, energy, finances into it in the first place. So all those details matter. So I couldn't agree more, Jonathan. Like elk woods, it doesn't matter if you're fishing, it doesn't matter if you're whitetail hunting, it doesn't matter if you're hiking. Like if that's something that you're truly passionate about, seeing yourself as that athlete is really important, because our bodies are high performing mechanisms that we need to treat as carefully as possible to last as long as possible, to do the things that we love for as long as possible, and pass that along. So couldn't agree more.
Exactly. Yeah, if you're a diesel truck, you're not going to go put gas in it. If you put gas in it, you're screwed up. Same thing with a Ferrari. You're not going to go put diesel in a Ferrari. Those are the kind of things that you want to make sure, as no matter what level of training you're at, even if you're still feeling like you're not where you want to be necessarily, you still need to do everything that you can to provide that recovery value for your body while you're up there on the mountain. So again, Preston, I really appreciate you coming on and chatting with us today, sharing your insights as far as, First Phorm Outdoors and why you're a part of the community. Guys, I always say there's at least one ginger behind every amazing community in the outdoors community.
Oh,
And I
gosh.
will stick by that. If you guys don't believe me, go and check out all the communities that you guys have seen out there that or groups or even companies out there that are having a lot of success. There's one ginger, whether he's behind the camera or he's in front of the camera. There's a ginger there, I promise. So
And we got to stick together.
Exactly.
We got to stick together. I love it.
Especially with Jake being like a half ginger. So
Yeah.
we got to keep that up. But awesome, guys. So thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I really do appreciate you tuning in. Again, this is a special, series that I'm doing every other Thursday throughout 2024. We've only got a couple months left of the year, and don't quit. Whatever you're doing, even after a hunt, don't quit on your goals, your health goals, whatever they may be. Take it one step at a time. We want you in the First Phorm Outdoors community for that reason. We want you to get prepped for, the end of 2024, beginning of 2025. Get that head start here in this last quarter of the year. And also, we didn't even mention this, which, I'm not the biggest fan of pumpkin spice. I didn't grow up on pumpkin spice lattes and all that. I'm not a basic white girl. Yes, offense was meant by that statement, guys out there. The pumpkin spice is hopefully hopefully yes and hopefully no, still available by the time this comes out. If it's still available, it is a seasonal offering. So you definitely need to go stock up on that if you like your pumpkin spice lattes in the morning. Why not throw some protein in there with it? It is also no artificial colors in this new batch of pumpkin spice. So for those of you out there that are concerned about the artificial colors and things like that in the past pumpkin spice flavor, there is no more artificial colors in this pumpkin spice batch. So go and check it out, guys. Make sure you snag it before we get into sweater weather and you're curling up by the fire with your Snuggie and your, pumpkin spice latte and everything else. I will say it makes really good ice cream. I will say that.
Okay.
If you have one of those, what it was, the Ninja Creamies. Yeah. Then if you got a Ninja Creamy, that pumpkin spice will get you an amazing, like a little kick of cinnamon.
Okay.
Man, it's good. It's good.
You sound it sounds like you've had some experience with some pumpkin spice lattes.
I mean, look, I'll just say this. The last bottle I bought from last season, I still have a couple scoops. So it's lasted me a while. But every once in a while, I do like that cinnamon kick when I don't want necessarily the CTC flavor, like the full cinnamon, but I want a little bit of cinnamon in there. That it's nice, and that Ninja Creamy does it justice. So yeah, definitely go check that out, guys. And anything else that you guys need, reach out to us. We're here for you. And of course, like I always say, guys, get out, live your life, and love it.